BassResinator here. I purchased a few small sand dollars from a local shop, and I decided to make molds of them. So I put them, don't know if you can see them very well, but they got the texture of the sand dollar. But these, I did one before and it was like a 4.5 inch one, but I wanted something smaller, but I didn't want to waste that much silicone. So these were sitting on top in the little dish that I had the sand dollars in. They were stuck down on the bottom, and so I poured on top, and I thought, I don't want to waste that much, so I poured just a little bit more silicone and I put the bigger one on. I just let it sit on top and it floated. So I got 3 for the price of 1. But when I was taking them out, they broke badly, to the point to where it's like I would have so much glue going everywhere. I just decided to throw them out. Did you know that inside a sand dollar are angel's wings? What? If you break them open, they have these little, let's see if I can pick it up. They look like angel wings. Let me get it close. They're kind of cool. So I have 3 of those, and I'm going to use them for a project sometime soon. I don't know what. But there was a time a while back when I was making a mold and trying to make a new version of this sand pot with a lid, and I wanted to put something on the top, and it came out badly. So I tried filling it in with more sand, and it came out gross. And I thought, that just looks gross. So look at that. If I make that sand dollar, it'll fit perfectly on there, and then I can make a new mold with the lid with the sand dollar on the top. So that is what I'm going to do in this video. I didn't show you how I made this. I used Let's Resin silicone, the 15A. I really like that hardness level. I find it to be the best for me, for my purposes. This is not going to take very much resin at all. So I may need to take that out and sand it down a little bit. So that I can get this when I finish this. Well, I'll do that off screen because I'll take it outside. But I'll show you the process here. Anyway, sand dollars are light enough that if you set them on top of silicone that's starting to cure, it'll sit right there. It'll sink down until the edge, which is really kind of cool. So I'm going to mix up a very little bit of resin, and I'm going to put in, I don't know what color. I have some of this. Yeah, I might as well just mix it up in that little container because it's not going to take much. And I used up the color that is in there, most of it. I just had some powder in here, 2 different colors to get that color. That should be enough to color the amount. Yeah, okay. Let me come back to you in just a bit. Okay, got the resin mixed up. Mixed up 0.8 ounces. Now, what would be really kind of cool is if I can pull this out while it's still a little bendy and set it on top of that other piece and just let it form to it. That would be cool. Okay, well, we'll sit and wait. We'll see ya. Well, this is cured enough to where I can set it on there, and it should shape itself nicely, I hope. I say that and definitely bendy. Okay, now set that aside. Well, I said set that aside, and then it starts losing its footing. Now I want to okay, so that covers that area very well. I'm gonna get some glue here to hold it down. I don't know what that was, but that was extra. It didn't need to be on there. Okay, so let me get my glue. Be right back. I got my E6000. Want that to be held down really well so that when I put the silicone on, I don't want it getting underneath there and then making a big mess. Look at that wanting to come up right there and there. Everything else seems to be there and there. If I could just sit here and put my hand on it for a long period of time. Okay, let that, I know, I'll go put it out on the heat mat. That should get it better. Okay, we'll see you later. Well, that is on there, and I'm going to put it, make the mold in this. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to spray mold release in here. Get a little bit of mold release to make sure it comes out. Air filter did not like the smell of that. Okay, now I have a couple powders here. Seashell, which is about the color of this, and white, which once I'm done making the mold, so it won't take but a couple hours to cure, but you have to, after you take it out of the mold, you have to wait a while to let it cure completely before you go pouring in it. So tomorrow I will decorate the sand dollar with white, and then I'll just pour in seashell for the rest of it to get to this color, and then have a white sand dollar on top. Anyway, I'm going to mix up some silicone for this. Okay, I mixed this up. This is Let's Resin 15A silicone, and I put in a couple drops of purple red dye. So mix that up for a few minutes. Well, actually about 4.5 minutes. Now I'm going to pour from a distance to try and help bubbles go away. I don't know how far down that is. Let me check. I may have to mix up a little bit more. Yep, that's not far enough. Well, okay. I mix up a little more. Okay. And here we go with the last little bit to make sure that that is going to be sufficient. I don't want to have it real thin on the top and then try and remove it and then poke a hole through the mold. That would be no good. No good at all. No good. No good at all. Now I already have, well, I can't take that out, but I already have the bottom piece that matches that. I just didn't like the lid cover. That's why I put that sand dollar on it. So that one will be set, but from now on the mold will have this sand dollar on top. So yeah, cool. I gotta wipe off my gloves because I got some of this stuff on it. Okay, we'll see you when it's time to, not to unmold this because it'll be very simple to do. I will see you tomorrow when it comes time to pour in the resin into it. Yeah, we'll see you. Okay, well, I pulled that out and it looks like there was, I don't know what happened there. It's like some of the silicone was not completely dry when I pulled it out. but I'm sure it was. But just dry it off a little bit with this Kleenex. And then have at it, I guess. Okay, so let me get, this is the white, and I want to dust it. Trying to get my brush out. Brush has seen some better days. Whee! Almost had a spill. Almost had a spill. And my name isn't Phil. Almost had a spill. My brother's name is Phil, though. One time, this is many years ago, and he has a cantankerous streak every once in a while. Super funny. But he went to a gas station, and this was before they had self-serve, so if that tells you how long ago it was. And we drove up, and the guy comes out and says, "Fill up?" And he goes, "How'd you know my name?" That was crazy. Okay, I hope that stays white. Or at least different color than the rest. So let me take care of that. Mix up some resin now. Remember I told you this was the lid for another jar that I made, so we're making the lid for this with this one here. Okay, let me mix up the resin. Okay, got the resin mixed up with the seashell. See how it's not white, it's a kind of goldish. It's going to match that other one, hopefully, really well. And hopefully the white will be just a slightly different color so we can see both. Now there is a little bit of a lip that the mold made. Make sure there's no air bubbles underneath. Where the sand dollar that I had put on there as a sample had a little curl up on the edge, and it left, there's a little bubble came up. You can't see it, it's under the lip here. Okay. I mixed up 7.5 ounces. I'm not sure exactly how much this takes. Because in the past I have made these with sand in them, and the sand made it a lot heavier. Now I'm using deep pour resin, the Let's resin. I'm almost out of it. Then I will go to my new batch that was provided to me by Bondcrafter, but not yet. This is not Bondcrafter. This is still the Let's Resin one. And I still have about 2.5 ounces. So it takes 5 ounces for the lid if you're not using any sand. Okay, let me, since I made sand dollar before, let me make the smaller two. This is going to take forever to cure because this is deep pour. I still have a little bit left over. Oh, there's a hair or something. Okay, let me pour the rest. I have a frog mold here that's starting to lose its frogginess. It's starting to lose its shine. So I'm not going to put eyes in it or anything else. I'll just pour that. Oh man, that seashell is a really pretty color. It's just enough to go into the legs. She's got legs, man. Okay, now we just wait. This is going to take a while. This one probably not as long. If it gets to the point to where this is cured up and these are not, I can move these. Hopefully by that time they will be gelatinous. I can take them out to the heat mat and take care of them that way. Now there was a hair in this. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay. Okay, we're not worried about that then. Okay, we'll see you when it's time to unmold these. These are cured up. If I need any sand dollars in the future. Got that sandy texture on them. Now that frog, I haven't decided what to do with it yet. Yeah, there we go. I could take it out and say this is a frog floating on top of the water where it's not all visible. Except this is not the kind of frog that floats on water. This is a tree frog. I'll just set him to the side and figure out what to do later. Okay, let us hope that, come on now. These gloves are just sliding something fierce. I'll use a stick that I've used to mix. Let's get it started. Wow. I don't know if you heard it. You know, you put cream on and then you put gloves on over the top, and boy, they just slide. Listen. There's part of the lid. There we go. Starting to come out. Hey. Well, the bottom part matches that, but the top isn't quite as white as I would like it to be, but close. Look at there. Ta-da. Dun, 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 dun. And I have a nice mold with a seashell on top. Not a seashell, sand dollar on top. So we got the sandy texture from the pot, the sandy texture of the starfish. Yeah, cool. Except for those spots that hadn't cured well. I don't know exactly what did that, but here we go. Cool. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that frog at this point, but a sand dollar caper. I finally finished my design. Let me get the original one. This one is heavy because it's full of sand. I put sand. You can see where I ran out of sand, where the color changes. But made the lid, fashioned the lid with this sand dollar on top, made a mold, and now I can do more. Cool. If you are interested in a sand dollar dish, let me know. I can make you one. With sand or without, whatever color you want. Yeah, cool. Okay, if you are a subscriber of mine, thank you so very, very much. If you are not, and you would like to be, it's very simple. Go down to the bottom of the screen, click where it says subscribe, and you're in. And if you would like to while you're there, click and subscribe. Right next to it, there's a little icon of a bell. If you click that, then you'll be notified anytime I do something new. If you'd like to be a channel member, we do have channel memberships available. Just click on join, and there you go. I'll get some stills of this. There's no sun, sadly. It's raining cats and dogs outside right now, which is nice because it hasn't rained here in a while. But makes it difficult to take pretty pictures. So I'll do the best I can. May have them on the table. Okay, we'll see you for the next one. Bye.